All right, we're going to start off right here with Lonzo Ball. The Jazz are expected to waive Lonzo Ball, allowing him to be a free agent. The Cleveland Cavaliers have agreed to trade Lonzo Ball and 2 second-round picks to the Utah Jazz. Sources tell ESPN Ball's agent Rich Paul, which I didn't even know he was with Clutch Sports. And the Jazz are expected to discuss his future soon. So listen, nothing is crazier than when you get traded to the team and then you get waived, right? So you become a free agent. Lonzo Ball, he's not what his dad said he was going to be, but he also isn't the bottom of the barrel either. I mean, he's a decent point guard that has good vision, that can move the ball when he's healthy, when he's up and down the court. It's crazy. I was talking to Carcino not too long ago, and he was telling me Lonzo Ball originally started getting injured because of those big baller brand shoes, and they just tore up his knees in his career. He's never been able to fully recuperate. I don't know if that's true or not, but it was a funny take he had on it. But when Lonzo Ball is healthy, he does add value to his team. He's not a superstar. He's not a bench player. He is the average person if you want a quick 15 to 18 points a game with solid play and good court vision. What do you think about this trade to the Jazz? But like I said, at the same time, he's going to get traded. Where do you think he'll end up?
So first of all, based on what Cleveland gave away here, where they trade 2 second-round picks and Lonzo. So they're just trying to get that off the books. They're trying to get Lonzo's contract off the books, and they say, here, have a couple second-round picks, get Lonzo's contract off the books because we're making bigger moves. Like we're going to go get James Harden. Then rumor mill says we're going to chase another one of our former players. But look, man, you got to give Lonzo credit. He had a rough start to his career. You know, he had a lot of pressure on him being one of the most hyped prospects in a long time. He settled in, you know, he had a very rough beginning, both in terms of his shooting form, his turnovers, his injuries. He settled in very nicely into, it looked like for a little bit there, in some of his playing with the Pelicans in Chicago, that he was going to become a superstar role player, a guy that can play defense from the point guard position, which is so valuable, a guy that can knock down three-pointers because, you know, he came into the league, you know, shooting like 30% from threes his rookie year. And by the time he got really seriously injured in Chicago, I mean, he was up close to 40%. So he was knocking down threes, and he's an excellent playmaker. I mean, anytime you look at his stats, even back when he was pretty bad his rookie year, he's giving you them 5 or 6 rebounds. He's giving you those 5 or 6 assists. But just looking at the stats doesn't speak to how good he actually looks when you watch him as a floor general, watch him as like a lead point guard for a team. So, yeah, he was never going to quite develop into what LeVar was telling us he was, you know, what he looked like at UCLA, what he looked like at Chino Hills. But he had really become a substantial superstar role player. And I think he could have settled into being a guy averaging, you know, 15, 8, and 6 on, you know, 40% shooting from 3, playing good defense. And I just think this year it hasn't worked out for him because he doesn't trust his knees. Because, you know, when you've had knees that have been injured like that to the point where they're taking other people's knees and replacing them and putting them in your knee, like, you're just not going to trust it. So I hope for his sake that he can find the right situation, maybe backing up his brother in Charlotte. But I'm rooting for him because I think he's a solid player. So I hope he ends up with his brother in Charlotte. We'll see what